Well, folks, here again for the weekly forecast. Precipitation in this last 7-day period was very sparse. Once again, the models overestimated the precipitation. The most concentrated area of precipitation that we've seen in terms of quantitative amounts was in the Tuesday-Wednesday time frame, as we had some thunderstorm breakout across portions of southwest Nebraska. A lot of these were highly elevated thunderstorms. We didn't see a lot of precipitation at the surface. And the most concentrated areas across south central Nebraska. Outside of that, we've been pretty much warming up as the week progressed until that cold front come through on Thursday. It did generate a few scattered thunderstorms, but nothing that we were expecting. Most of the heaviest precipitation moved to the east of us, and now as we go into this weekend, we look like we're going to have fairly cool conditions as we go to the upper air pattern. That trough has now moved to the east of us, is kind of bringing a northwest flow into our region, so we're seeing some fairly cool conditions for this time of the year, almost spring-like. High pressure system dominates all of the central and northern plains, as most of the activity is off to the east of us, and in fact we see the precipitation along this front that's projected, and this does incorporate the remnants of Tropical Storm Cindy that was incorporated with this troughing pattern. Now as we get into Sunday, the trough basically stays in the same position, high pressure firmly planted over top of us, so we're going to be looking at another cool day on Sunday. There is some signs of some precipitation breaking out. If it does, it's going to be very late in the day, and I really don't think much of this is going to hit the ground. As we go into Monday, this trough starts to deepen and the ridge in the west starts to build up, so we're going to start to see a return of warmer conditions as high pressure moves to the east of us, brings a southerly flow. A little bit more moisture gets evected into our region. We start to see some thunderstorms breaking out across western Texas and New Mexico. And then as we go into Tuesday, this trough starts to come in the Pacific Northwest, and that's going to help develop a surface low across the Dakota, southern Canada, and in fact that will help to feed up some moisture into the region, but it's going to be delayed. So most of it is going to be across the Pacific Northwest, and as this system moves in on Wednesday across the northern plains, now our flow is going to start to come up from the Gulf of Mexico with a couple surface area lows depicted across Dakotas and Kansas, and this will bring the moisture up and interact with the frontal boundary that's trying to move across the region, generating some very isolated thunderstorm activity, more concentrated to our north. Now as the system moves toward the western Great Lakes, we do see a much better chance as surface low over Texas will really pump the moisture up and interact with the boundary, and that should generate a fairly broad area of precipitation across Iowa, eastern portions of Nebraska, and then well to our north in Minnesota and the Dakotas. As we get to Friday, this system starts to move into the Great Lakes region. Surface low still remains in place across Texas. That will continue to feed the moisture up into the northern plains, and we should see some thunderstorms once again develop across Kansas, Iowa, and points to the north. Now as we look at the 8 to 14 day forecast, we still keep this troughing pattern in place for the majority of the period. So the warmth will remain to the south of us. Nebraska is caught between the two systems. 8 to 14 day forecast shows us much above normal precipitation dry to our west. If we take this farther out, essentially the models at this point from next Thursday through the 8th of July are showing precipitation in almost every single day across Nebraska, but we still need to show us the money.